Welcome to the 7 Minutes to Better Selling podcast. I'm your host, Colin Lake, president and founder of Developing the Next Leaders.
Hey, Colin, thanks for having me, man.
My man, happy you're here and so happy for this. So looking forward to this conversation. So a couple things about Mike. So first one is Mike has been around for a really, really long time, performing at a really, really high level in this industry. And so he'll tell you a bit more about that. But Mike wrote a book called Never Ask a Barber for a Haircut. And you see the results of that. There it is. There's that beautiful book. I've read it. It's awesome. Chock full of ideas. Mike is also the CEO and founder of SalesMax, which will tell us a little bit more about as well. So, Mike, I'm going to get out of your way in a second, but I'm going to set it up with this. You start like as a sales guy with a small little territory, and you expand it into like running half the country and then the whole country and divisions and channels. You've done all these amazing things. How do you get from there to here? Because that's what so many of us are looking to do.
Hey, again, thanks for having me on, Colin, and great question, and probably similar to most of the people out there. Honestly, I got into the business almost by accident. I got in as a retail advisor at Legg Mason. I took my Series 7 exam October 19th, 1987, Black Monday. Jeez. Literally the day I started, they called me from the training department and said, congratulations, you passed your Series 7. Go get them, killer. The market melted down 23%, over 30% the prior week. So an auspicious debut. But you know what I learned though, Colin? I learned about passion, emotion, and understanding. This is the big leagues. Our business matters like nobody's business. I traveled with some guys too, in particular, Tim Seifert, the guy Phil Eichinger, you know both of them. Some of the best in the business still today, legends in the business. And I learned a lot from those guys. And I basically copied what they were doing, Colin, and I started doing what they were doing. And guess what happened? I started being successful. Mm-hmm. So I moved up the rankings and I just figured it out. You know, this is a simple business. It's all about working hard and working smart. And that's what I did. When I traveled with Phil and Tim, I saw what they were doing, and they weren't doing the conventional stuff. They were doing seminars and they were doing basketball events and they were doing all kinds of creative stuff. And I know Jimmy spoke a few weeks ago and he talks about two things, and I'm going to echo those sentiments exactly. Passion, process, hard work, work smart. That's the passion piece, and it's in everyone. You just have to find it. You have to be able to understand what your value system is, what you do, who you are, and who you want to help. And once you understand what you're doing is a really noble profession, then you can get passionate about it. It's not a job. This is a career, and it's an impactful career that helps thousands and thousands of people.
Mike, let me ask you this. Passion. Yeah. So two things. One is you took a leap of faith, meaning someone says to you, why don't you wholesale? You don't know what the job is, but you say yes. So you took a leap of faith. That's one. And then two, you saw what the successful people were doing and you mimicked it. Like you said, okay, that's working. I'm going to do that now. What gives you the courage to stay down that path or to take that leap of faith?
Well, you know, it's funny because when you have a little bit of success breeds success. And so what I started doing was, and when I talk about in my book, hard work, work smart, number two is get results. And the results piece is so critical to any wholesaler, whether it's the amount of appointments that you do or what type of appointments that you do on a daily, on an hourly, on a monthly, on a yearly basis. You need to show results. And once you start getting some results, it propels you and it gives you energy and it moves you along. So for example, take a look at where you are in the rankings at your own company. If you have 50 wholesalers and you're number 25, don't try to be number one. Just try to get to number 24 or number 20 or in the top 15 and move that along and have that in your mind and in your heart that that's what you really want to do.
Let me ask you that. How does that that theory is a popular one, 2 ears, 1 mouth, use them proportionately. Yet so few people are able to execute on it. If you were to give the listeners, like, what's one thing that you could do as a salesperson? And when Mike says wholesaler, you heard him reference it a couple of times. That's just interchangeable with salesperson. So what's one thing a salesperson can do to in fact execute on that plan of like 2 ears, 1 mouth, use them proportionally, or listen twice as much as you talk?
Colin, that's the essence to wholesale. You need to be able to slow your mind down and understand and know going in what are the specific questions you're going to ask and what problems what pain points that customer has that you might be able to help with. So by doing that, you need to ask the appropriate questions to figure out exactly where their pain points are, so then you can help them. And that's all just about asking a question, biting your tongue, sitting back, and let them give you the information, because they'll tell you exactly where you need to go.
Yeah, boy, that's awesome. So in terms of takeaways, Mike, and I'm going to give you a second to wrap up here, but in terms of takeaways, one is have the courage to identify who the best people are at your firm. And if you are the best, look elsewhere, because there's always someone bigger, always someone better, always someone better, always someone bigger, always someone better. I was using the term bad, meaning good. But so like have the courage to identify who the best are. Then have the courage to ask them what's driving you to get there. Listen intently, learn from it, and then go out and bring that to your territory. That is a real plan for us all to work with and to take away. So, Mike, I'm going to give you a chance to wrap up your thoughts here as we get close to that 11-minute mark of the call.
All right, Colin, real simple. Work hard, work smart. That's table stakes. Everybody kind of knows to do that. And the longer you're in the business, the more effective you'll be. You have to get results. And results, it's not your month-end numbers. It's not your year-end numbers. It's your daily numbers, what you do every day. If you're not planned out 6 months in advance in today's world, you're not going to be successful. So you have to be planned out, and you have to get results, whether it's rankings, whether it's a production goal, whether it's an appointment goal, whether it's a seminar goal, whatever it is, you need to have the metrics, and you need to hold yourself accountable to it. And lastly, Colin, we had a call, 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know if you remember. And when I first wrote the book, you read it, you said, the third thing you always talk about is have fun. And you said, you know what, man, I'm not having enough fun because I'm starting this new business and I'm running like a hamster on a wheel, and it's, crazy, and I got to have more fun. And here's the thing. I have always tried to create a atmosphere in my divisions and in my groups to have a good time.
And a lasting thought from what you heard from Mike is, maybe practice a little courage. We talk about that from a sales perspective in terms of reaching out to more clients and things like that. Practice a little courage in your own little sales world. Who's better than you? Ask them why and how they're doing it. Ask them enough questions so that they fully tell you everything, and be courageous and execute on it. So I wish everyone a wonderful, safe holiday weekend, and good selling, everybody.